Sarah, a kindergarten teacher with gentle blue eyes and auburn hair that caught the sunlight just so, spent her days surrounded by children's laughter, while Michael, a local carpenter known for his skilled hands and kind heart, built homes for other families' dreams. They never lost faith, holding on to each other through every disappointment, every tearful night, every negative test that threatened to dim their hope. Then came that crisp October morning when Sarah's hands trembled as she held the positive pregnancy test. The world seemed to stop spinning for a moment as she called out to Michael, her voice carrying years of longing and newfound joy. But neither of them could have predicted what Dr. Emily Roberts would tell them during their first ultrasound appointment at Millbrook General Hospital. "I'm seeing multiple heartbeats," Dr. Roberts said, her experienced eyes widening as she moved the ultrasound wand across Sarah's still flat belly. 1, 2, 3. She counted steadily, her voice growing more astonished with each number. "Sarah, Michael, you're carrying 7 babies." The examination room fell silent except for the rhythmic swooshing of multiple tiny heartbeats. 7 distinct pulses of life, each one a miracle, each one defying the odds. Michael's strong hand gripped Sarah's as tears rolled down both their cheeks. 7 babies, 7 blessings, 7 times the love they had waited so long to give. News spread through Millbrook like wildfire, carried on whispers and prayers from the local diner to the Sunday church services. Soon, their story reached beyond the town limits, drawing attention from medical professionals and media outlets across the country. But for Sarah and Michael, each day was less about the headlines and more about the precious lives growing within Sarah's expanding belly. As weeks passed, Sarah's body changed dramatically. Her petite frame struggled to accommodate the miraculous growth within. Simple tasks became monumental challenges. Walking up the stairs left her breathless, and finding a comfortable sleeping position seemed impossible. Yet through it all, she maintained a quiet strength that amazed everyone around her. Michael threw himself into preparations, working extra hours at his carpentry shop to build custom cribs, each one crafted with love and attention to detail. Their small home underwent a transformation as the spare bedroom and home office merged into what would become the nursery. Walls were painted in soft, calming colors, and 7 tiny mobiles hung from the ceiling, dancing in the gentle breeze from the window. The community rallied around them in ways that brought tears to their eyes. Mrs. Henderson from the local quilting circle organized a massive baby shower where every attendee brought 7 of everything: 7 onesies, 7 bottles, 7 pacifiers. The high school woodworking class, inspired by Michael's craftsmanship, built a custom changing table with 7 separate sections. Even the gruff owner of the hardware store, Old Joe, showed up one day with 7 different musical toys, muttering something about his late wife always having wanted a big family. But during their 20-week ultrasound, Dr. Roberts' expression changed as she focused on the 7th baby. Her brow furrowed in concentration as she studied the screen intently. "There's something different about this one," she said carefully, her words hanging in the air like morning mist. "The development pattern is unique." Sarah's heart raced as she gripped Michael's hand tighter. "Different? Is our baby okay?" The fear in her voice was palpable, a mother's instinct already fiercely protective of all 7 lives within her. Dr. Roberts tried to maintain a professional demeanor, but her voice held a note of wonder. "The 7th baby appears to be developing at a slightly different rate than the others. The brain activity is extraordinary. I've never seen anything quite like it in all my years of practice." The following weeks were filled with additional tests and consultations. Specialists flew in from major medical centers across the country, all drawn by the mysterious readings from the 7th baby. Some spoke of enhanced neural development, others of unique genetic markers. Through it all, Sarah and Michael clung to their faith and to each other, choosing to see the miracle rather than the mystery. As Sarah entered her 3rd trimester, the strain on her body became intense. Dr. Roberts ordered bed rest, and their bedroom became command central for the remainder of the pregnancy. The community organized a meal train, ensuring fresh home-cooked food arrived at their doorstep 3 times a day. Local teenagers took turns doing their laundry and cleaning. The town's retired nurse, Margaret Wilson, moved into their guest room to provide round-the-clock care. Then, on a stormy night in early March, Sarah went into premature labor. The hospital corridor echoed with urgent footsteps as medical staff rushed to prepare for the complex delivery. 7 separate teams of medical professionals stood ready, each assigned to care for one precious life. The cesarean section was a delicate dance of precision and timing. One by one, 6 beautiful babies were delivered, 3 boys and 3 girls, each one perfect in their own right. But when the 7th baby emerged, the operating room fell silent. This child, a girl with striking violet eyes, seemed to radiate an otherworldly peace. While her siblings announced their arrival with robust cries, she simply gazed around the room with an awareness that seemed impossible for a newborn. As the babies were whisked away to the NICU, the medical team began to notice something extraordinary about the 7th child, whom Sarah and Michael named Hope. While her siblings required the standard support expected for premature infants, Hope seemed to thrive independently. Her vital signs were strong, her responses advanced. But most remarkably, her presence seemed to have a calming effect on her siblings. When placed near them, their vital signs would stabilize, their breathing would regulate, and they would fall into peaceful sleep. The medical community was fascinated. Research papers were written, studies were proposed. But Sarah and Michael focused solely on nurturing their 7 miracles. They named their children with purpose and love: Faith, Grace, Joy, Noah, Ethan, Lucas, and Hope, each name carrying its own weight of meaning and promise. As the weeks in the NICU turned into months, the 7 babies grew stronger. The first 6 developed typically, hitting their milestones right on schedule for premature infants. But Hope continued to display remarkable characteristics. She seemed to communicate without words, responding to her siblings' needs before they could cry out. Her presence had a measurable impact on their development, seeming to accelerate their growth and strengthen their immune systems. Finally, after 3 months of intensive care, all 7 babies were strong enough to go home. The day they left the hospital, the entire town of Millbrook lined the streets, holding signs and cheering as Michael drove their newly acquired van, donated by the local dealership, down Main Street toward home. The adjustment to life with 7 infants was both challenging and beautiful. Their home buzzed with activity around the clock as Sarah, Michael, and a dedicated team of volunteers worked in shifts to care for the babies. The nursery, once just a room of dreams, now overflowed with life and love. But it was Hope who continued to amaze them. As the months passed, her unique abilities became more pronounced. She developed faster than her siblings, showing early signs of emotional intelligence that seemed well beyond her years. When one of the other babies was distressed, Hope would become alert before any crying began. When placed near that sibling, she would reach out with her tiny hand, and almost immediately, peace would settle over them both. Medical researchers continued to study Hope's case, documenting her extraordinary development and the inexplicable influence she had on her siblings. Some suggested advanced neural development. Others pointed to unique genetic markers, but none could fully explain the bond she shared with her brothers and sisters, or her remarkable ability to sense and soothe their distress. Sarah and Michael chose to focus less on the medical mysteries and more on the daily miracles of watching their 7 children grow and thrive. They documented every moment, creating separate journals for each child, filling pages with first smiles, first words, first steps. The local newspaper ran monthly updates on the Millbrook 7, as they came to be known, and their story inspired hope in countless families struggling with their own fertility journeys. As the babies approached their first birthday, the town organized a celebration that would be remembered for years to come. The park was transformed into a wonderland of balloons and streamers, with 7 small cakes arranged in a circle, one for each baby to demolish in the time-honored tradition of first birthdays. During the party, as family and friends gathered to celebrate, Hope once again displayed her extraordinary nature. When her brother Lucas became overwhelmed by the crowd and began to fuss, Hope crawled to his side before anyone else noticed his distress. She placed her small hand on his arm, and within moments his tears subsided. The gathered crowd watched in amazement as peace settled over both children, their connection palpable and profound. That evening, as Sarah and Michael put their 7 miracles to bed, They stood in the nursery doorway, arms around each other, watching their children sleep. The soft glow of 7 nightlights cast gentle shadows on the walls, and the sound of peaceful breathing filled the room. Hope, as always, seemed to sense their presence, opening her violet eyes to gaze at them with that same knowing look she'd had since birth. "She's our little guardian angel," Sarah whispered, tears of gratitude sliding down her cheeks. "They all are." Michael pulled his wife closer, his voice thick with emotion. 7 perfect miracles, he agreed. Each one unique, each one precious, and one with a gift we may never fully understand. As they closed the nursery door that night, Sarah and Michael knew their journey was far from over. There would be more challenges ahead, more mysteries to unravel, and countless moments of joy and wonder to experience. But they faced it all with renewed faith, surrounded by the love of their community and blessed by the extraordinary gift of their 7 children, especially their 7th miracle, Hope, whose very existence reminded them daily that some questions don't need answers to be beautiful. Their story spread far beyond the boundaries of Millbrook, touching hearts and inspiring faith across the country. But for Sarah and Michael Thompson, the greatest miracle wasn't in the medical mysteries or the public attention. It was in the quiet moments at home, surrounded by 7 beating hearts that had forever changed their world. The tapestry of their family life continued to weave itself in patterns both ordinary and extraordinary. Hope's unique abilities remained a beautiful mystery, one that reminded them daily that love transcends understanding, and that sometimes the most precious gifts come in ways we least expect. Their journey had begun with a single prayer for a child, and God had answered 7-fold, blessing them not just with 7 babies, but with 7 unique souls who would forever change their understanding of miracles. As the stars twinkled outside the nursery window that night, 7 peaceful breaths synchronized in sleep, and the promise of tomorrow hung in the air like stardust. The Thompson family's story wasn't just about medical marvels or supernatural gifts. It was a testament to the power of love, faith, and the incredible strength of the human spirit. And in the end, that was the greatest miracle of all. As the years unfolded like pages in a cherished storybook, the Thompson family's journey continued to captivate hearts and challenge medical understanding. By the time the septuplets reached their 2nd birthday, their unique dynamic had become even more pronounced, with Hope's extraordinary abilities evolving in ways that left even the most skeptical researchers in awe. The children developed their own distinct personalities, each one shining in their own special way. Faith, the firstborn, emerged as a natural leader, her determined spirit evident in everything from learning to walk to helping her siblings with their toys. Grace possessed an artistic soul, creating masterpieces with finger paints that seemed to tell stories beyond her years. Joy lived up to her name, her infectious laughter brightening even the darkest days. Noah showed an early aptitude for music, responding to melodies before he could speak. Ethan's curiosity about the world around him was insatiable, while Lucas demonstrated an exceptional ability to solve problems, figuring out puzzle toys meant for much older children. But Hope continued to be their miracle within miracles. By age 2, she had developed an almost telepathic connection with her siblings. She could sense their needs before they expressed them, often leading Sarah or Michael to whichever child required attention before they even began to cry. Her violet eyes, which had captured everyone's attention at birth, seemed to grow more luminescent with each passing month, appearing to shift colors slightly depending on her emotional state. The medical community remained fascinated by Hope's development. Dr. Roberts, who had become more than just their physician but a close family friend, coordinated with researchers from major universities to document Hope's unique abilities. They observed how she could calm her siblings during vaccinations merely by holding their hands, how she seemed to accelerate their healing when they were ill, and how her presence appeared to enhance their cognitive development. Sarah maintained detailed journals about each child's growth, but Hope's required multiple volumes. She documented every instance of Hope's extraordinary empathic abilities, including the time when 3-year-old Lucas fell from the backyard swing set. Before his cry even reached Sarah's ears, Hope had already run to the back door, pulling on her mother's hand with urgent determination. When they reached Lucas, Hope placed her small hands on his scraped knee, and to Sarah's amazement, the bleeding seemed to slow almost immediately. The Thompson home became a hub of both ordinary family chaos and extraordinary moments that defied explanation. The local community remained supportive, though they had grown accustomed to the unusual events that seemed to surround the family. Mrs. Henderson still brought her famous chicken soup whenever one of the children was ill, but she no longer seemed surprised when Hope would meet her at the door before she could ring the bell, somehow knowing exactly which sibling needed the comfort food most. Michael expanded their home as the children grew, adding custom-designed spaces that accommodated their expanding needs. The nursery transformed into 3 bedrooms, one for the girls, one for the boys, and a special space for Hope that sat between them. This arrangement wasn't just practical. It seemed to amplify Hope's ability to watch over her siblings, especially during the night when their emotional needs often peaked. By the time the children reached preschool age, the decision of how to handle their education became a major consideration. The local elementary school was eager to welcome the famous septuplets, but Sarah and Michael worried about exposing Hope's gifts to too much public scrutiny. They worked with educators to develop a unique hybrid program that allowed the children to experience both traditional classroom settings and specialized home education. Hope's presence in the classroom had an unexpected positive effect on her entire preschool class. Teachers reported that on days when Hope attended, the entire classroom atmosphere was calmer, more focused, and more harmonious. Children who typically struggled with anxiety or attention issues seemed to find peace in her presence. The school counselor noted that behavioral incidents decreased significantly when Hope was present, leading to discussions about the potential therapeutic applications of her unique abilities. The medical research continued, though more discreetly now. Monthly checkups became opportunities for careful documentation of Hope's developing abilities and their impact on her siblings. Brain scans showed unusual patterns of activity, particularly in areas associated with empathy and emotional processing. When connected to monitoring equipment alongside her siblings, Hope's brain waves appeared to synchronize with theirs, creating patterns that neurologists had never seen before. As the children approached their 5th birthday, their individual talents began to blossom in remarkable ways. Faith developed an uncanny ability to mediate conflicts, not just among her siblings, but in her kindergarten class as well. Grace's artistic abilities progressed far beyond her years, her paintings capturing emotions and energy in ways that seasoned artists found remarkable. Joy's natural musical ability complemented Noah's, and together they created melodies that brought tears to listeners' eyes. Ethan's intellectual development accelerated, particularly in mathematics and sciences, while Lucas showed remarkable athletic prowess. But it was the way these individual talents seemed to amplify in Hope's presence that truly amazed observers. When Hope sat with Grace during art time, Grace's paintings took on an almost luminescent quality. When she hummed along with Joy and Noah's music, their melodies became more complex and harmonious. During Ethan's problem-solving activities, Hope's presence seemed to help him arrive at solutions more quickly and creatively. The bond between the septuplets grew stronger with each passing year, but their connection to Hope remained something special and unique. They developed their own silent language, communicating through looks and gentle touches that outsiders couldn't understand. In moments of stress or conflict, the other 6 would instinctively seek out Hope, drawing comfort from her presence even before she actively tried to help. Sarah and Michael watched their children's development with a mixture of pride, wonder, and occasional concern. They worried about the responsibility that seemed to rest on Hope's small shoulders, the way she naturally took on the role of protector and healer for her siblings. But Hope appeared to thrive in this role, her own happiness seemingly tied to the well-being of her brothers and sisters. The Thompson family's story continued to inspire others, though in different ways than before. What had started as a medical miracle, the successful birth and survival of septuplets, had evolved into something more profound. Their story became one of love's transformative power, of the mysterious connections that bind families together, and of the extraordinary gifts that can emerge from ordinary circumstances. As the children grew, their unique dynamic attracted attention from child development experts and researchers in the field of human consciousness. Some theorized that Hope's abilities represented an evolutionary leap in human empathy and emotional intelligence. Others suggested that the intense bonding experience of sharing the womb with 6 siblings had somehow awakened dormant human potential. But for the Thompson family, the theories mattered less than the daily reality of raising 7 remarkable children. The community of Millbrook continued to embrace and protect the family, helping to shield them from excessive public attention, while providing the support network they needed to thrive. The local media maintained a respectful distance, publishing only occasional human interest stories that focused on the children's more conventional achievements: their first day of school, their participation in local events, their contributions to community projects. As the years passed, Hope's gift seemed to extend beyond her immediate family. During community events, parents noticed that their children were calmer and more cooperative when Hope was nearby. The local children's hospital invited Hope to visit their pediatric ward after hearing reports of her healing presence, and the results were remarkable. Children in pain found relief, anxious patients became peaceful, and the overall atmosphere of the ward transformed during her visits. Sarah and Michael worked tirelessly to ensure their children maintained as normal a childhood as possible, while acknowledging and nurturing their unique gifts. They organized regular family meetings where each child could share their experiences, concerns, and dreams. These gatherings became sacred family time, often concluding with all 7 children snuggled together in a pile of pillows and blankets, with Hope in the center, her peaceful energy enveloping them all. The Thompson home became known as a sanctuary, of sorts, a place where love and understanding flowed as naturally as breath. Visitors often remarked on the unusual sense of peace they felt when crossing the threshold, not realizing that they were experiencing the ripple effect of Hope's extraordinary gift, amplified by the loving environment her family had created. As the children approached their 6th birthday, plans began for a celebration that would honor not just their growth but the incredible journey their family had undertaken. The entire town would gather in the park where they had celebrated their first birthday. But this time, the 7 small cakes would be replaced by a grand design featuring 7 interlocking circles, symbolizing their unique bond. The story of the Thompson septuplets continued to unfold, each day bringing new discoveries, challenges, and moments of joy. Through it all, Hope remained their anchor, their miracle within miracles, a living reminder that love transcends the boundaries of ordinary human understanding. And as Sarah and Michael watched their 7 children grow and thrive, they knew that their family's journey was far from over. It was, in many ways, just beginning. As the Thompson children approached their 7th year, their story continued to unfold in ways that touched hearts and challenged understanding. The upcoming birthday held special significance. 7 years old, 7 children, 7 unique destinies intertwined in ways that science still struggled to explain. Sarah and Michael had transformed their home into a haven of growth and discovery. The backyard now featured a specialized playground designed by Michael himself, with 7 distinct areas that catered to each child's developing interests. Faith's corner held a small podium where she practiced the public speaking skills she was naturally developing. Grace's space was an outdoor art studio complete with weatherproof easels and natural lighting. Joy had a small performance area, with weather-resistant musical instruments, while Noah's section featured a more traditional music space that complemented his sister's. Ethan's area was filled with scientific equipment and exploration tools. Lucas had his sports training equipment, and Hope's space was a peaceful garden sanctuary where she could recharge her extraordinary empathic abilities. The medical community's interest in Hope had evolved from clinical curiosity to profound respect. Dr. Roberts, who had been with them since the beginning, now headed a specialized research team dedicated to understanding the implications of Hope's abilities for human development and healthcare. Their findings were revolutionary. When Hope spent time in pediatric wards, recovery rates improved significantly. Children with chronic conditions reported less pain, and those with emotional or behavioral challenges showed marked improvement. But it was the relationship between Hope and her siblings that continued to captivate researchers and family alike. As they grew, their connection deepened in ways that defied conventional understanding. When Faith stood before her elementary school class to give presentations, Hope's presence seemed to amplify her natural leadership abilities, making her words more impactful. During Grace's art exhibitions at the local community center, Hope's proximity caused her paintings to take on an almost three-dimensional quality that moved viewers to tears. Joy and Noah's musical performances became transcendent experiences. When Hope sat nearby, their melodies weaving together in ways that professional musicians couldn't explain. The bond extended to their academic achievements as well. Ethan's scientific experiments yielded more accurate results when Hope observed them, as if her presence somehow enhanced his natural intuition for discovery. Lucas's athletic performances reached new heights when Hope watched from the sidelines, his movements becoming more fluid and precise. The other children at school had grown accustomed to the extraordinary harmony that surrounded the Thompson septuplets, accepting it as just another part of their unique family dynamic. Sarah continued to document everything, her journals now filling an entire bookshelf in the family study. She recorded the small miracles that peppered their daily lives, how Hope could sense when one of her siblings was about to fall ill before any symptoms appeared, how she could calm their nightmares from across the house, how her presence seemed to accelerate their learning and development in subtle but meaningful ways. The community of Millbrook had become a protective circle around the family, helping them maintain a sense of normalcy while embracing their extraordinary circumstances. Local businesses adjusted their practices to accommodate the family's unique needs. The grocery store created a special shopping time when the aisles were less crowded, knowing that Hope could become overwhelmed by too many emotional energies at once. The library set aside a private reading room where the children could study together, their collective focus enhanced by Hope's presence. As their 7th birthday approached, the town began preparing for a celebration that would honor not just the children's growth, but the way their presence had transformed the community. The local Artisans Guild commissioned 7 unique pieces that represented each child's special gifts. The high school choir prepared a special performance incorporating melodies that Joy and Noah had composed. The elementary school organized a science fair in Ethan's honor, while the sports department planned demonstrations inspired by Lucas's achievements. But it was the preparation for Hope's tribute that truly captured the town's imagination. The local gardening society transformed the Central Park into a healing garden, incorporating plants known for their therapeutic properties. They created 7 circular gardens, each reflecting one of the children's personalities, with Hope's garden at the center serving as a peaceful retreat where she could share her gift with those in need. The medical research had expanded to include studies on the long-term effects of Hope's abilities. Dr. Roberts and her team documented how exposure to Hope's presence seemed to create lasting positive changes in brain chemistry and emotional regulation, not just in her siblings but in anyone who spent significant time around her. The implications for therapeutic applications were staggering, leading to discussions about establishing a specialized healing center in Millbrook. Sarah and Michael watched their children's development with a mixture of pride and wonder. Each child was thriving in their own way, their individual gifts growing stronger while remaining uniquely connected through hope. The family dynamic had evolved into something beautiful and complex, like a 7-pointed star with hope at its center, each point radiating its own light while contributing to a greater whole. The 7 bedrooms upstairs had become more than just sleeping spaces. They were sanctuaries where each child could develop their unique gifts while remaining connected to their siblings. Hope's room remained at the center, its walls adorned with crystals and calming colors that helped her manage the increasing strength of her empathic abilities. The other children's rooms radiated outward from hers like petals on a flower, each space designed to nurture their individual talents while maintaining the powerful bond they shared. As the children grew, their influence began to extend beyond Millbrook. News of their extraordinary development attracted attention from child development experts, spiritual leaders, and medical researchers from around the world. But Sarah and Michael remained committed to protecting their children's privacy while allowing them to share their gifts in meaningful ways. The Thompson family's story became a beacon of hope for others facing unusual challenges or grappling with gifts they didn't fully understand. Support groups formed around the country, inspired by their example of embracing differences and nurturing unique abilities. The children received letters from around the world, many from parents whose children showed signs of enhanced empathy or unusual connections with siblings. As their 7th year approached its end, the Thompson septuplets had become living proof that love, understanding, and acceptance could transform what others might see as strange or frightening into something beautiful and inspiring. Their journey had evolved from a medical miracle into a testament to the extraordinary potential that exists within ordinary families when nurtured by unconditional love and unwavering support. The preparation for their 7th birthday celebration became a community-wide effort that symbolized everything the Thompson family had come to represent. 7 days of festivities were planned, each day highlighting a different child's special gifts while emphasizing their interconnectedness. The event would culminate in a grand celebration that brought together all the elements of their unique family dynamic: Faith's leadership, Grace's artistry, Joy and Noah's music, Ethan's scientific discoveries, Lucas's athletic achievements, and at the center of it all, Hope's extraordinary ability to bring harmony and healing to those around her. The Thompson home buzzed with excitement as the birthday approached. Michael spent countless hours in his workshop, crafting 7 unique pieces of furniture that would serve as birthday presents, each piece designed to support and enhance the children's individual gifts while maintaining their connection to each other. Sarah filled her journals with reflections on the past 7 years, documenting not just the extraordinary moments but the quiet, everyday miracles that made their family unique. As the sun set on the eve of their 7th birthday, Sarah and Michael stood in the doorway of the family room, watching their 7 miracles engaged in their evening routine. Faith was helping Lucas with his homework, her natural leadership abilities shining through in her patient explanations. Grace sat at her easel, painting a portrait of Joy and Noah as they practiced a new song they had written together. Ethan was absorbed in a book about quantum physics, occasionally sharing fascinating facts with anyone who would listen. And Hope, their extraordinary Hope, sat in the center of it all, her violet eyes glowing with love and contentment as she basked in the harmony of her family's shared presence. The story of the Thompson septuplets continued to unfold, each day bringing new discoveries, challenges, and moments of wonder. But through it all, they remained grounded in the love that had brought them into the world and the extraordinary bond that connected them. Their journey was a testament to the power of unconditional love, the strength of family bonds, and the miraculous potential that exists within every human heart. As the stars began to twinkle outside their window, 7 young souls drifted off to sleep, their dreams intertwining through the mysterious connection they shared. And in the quiet of the night, Hope's peaceful energy enveloped them all, a reminder that sometimes the greatest miracles are not the ones that can be explained, but the ones that must simply be embraced and cherished for the gifts they are. The morning of the septuplets' 7th birthday dawned with a golden light that seemed to bless the Thompson home with its warmth. Sarah woke early, her heart full of memories and dreams as she walked quietly past each bedroom, pausing to listen to the peaceful breathing of her 7 miracles. When she reached Hope's room, she found her extraordinary daughter already awake, sitting cross-legged on her bed with that serene smile that had become her trademark. "They're all having beautiful dreams, Mom," Hope whispered, her violet eyes shimmering with joy. "I can feel their happiness even in their sleep." The birthday celebration that unfolded over the next 7 days became a testament to the transformative power of love and acceptance. Each day was dedicated to one of the children, allowing their individual gifts to shine while highlighting the beautiful way they complemented each other. On Faith's Day, she led a community youth leadership workshop, her natural ability to inspire and guide others touching hearts across generations. The local school superintendent was so impressed that he proposed establishing a peer mentoring program based on Faith's innate understanding of how to bring out the best in others. Grace's Day transformed the town square into an outdoor art gallery, her paintings capturing emotions and moments in ways that professional artists found revolutionary. Her piece de resistance was a series of 7 interconnected canvases, each depicting one of her siblings in a moment of pure joy, with Hope's portrait at the center seeming to glow with an inner light that left viewers speechless. Joy and Noah's musical celebration filled the park with harmonies that seemed to transcend ordinary human composition. Their joint performance, with Hope sitting quietly nearby, created sounds that moved hardened critics to tears and left musicians questioning everything they knew about musical theory. The recording of their performance would later be studied by music theorists who claimed it contained healing frequencies previously unknown to science. Ethan's day featured a science fair that showcased his extraordinary understanding of the natural world. His presentations on quantum entanglement drew parallels to the unique bond he shared with his siblings, particularly Hope, leading to fascinating discussions about the intersection of science and human consciousness. Graduate students from prestigious universities sat spellbound as this 7-year-old explained complex theories with remarkable clarity. Lucas's athletic demonstration became a celebration of human potential as he performed feats of agility and coordination that seemed impossible for his age. Sports physiologists noted how his movements became even more extraordinary when Hope watched from the sidelines, as if her presence helped him tap into abilities that typically remained dormant in human beings. The 6th day was dedicated to honoring the medical and scientific implications of their unique family. Dr. Roberts presented her research findings, showing how the presence of the Thompson children, particularly Hope, had revolutionized understanding of human development and healing. The data suggested that their influence created lasting positive changes in the brain chemistry of those around them, leading to improved emotional regulation and accelerated healing in patients exposed to their presence. But it was the 7th day, Hope's day, that truly captured the essence of their extraordinary family. The healing garden that had been created in her honor became a sanctuary where people from all walks of life gathered to experience the peaceful energy that radiated from this remarkable child. Hope spent the day moving quietly among the visitors, her gentle touch bringing comfort to those in pain, her presence calming those in distress, her smile lighting up the darkest corners of troubled hearts. As evening approached on the final day, the Thompson family gathered in their backyard for a private celebration. Michael had prepared a special surprise, a treehouse complex he had spent months building, with 7 interconnected spaces linked by bridges and walkways, each section designed to nurture each child's unique gifts while maintaining their precious connection to each other. The children explored their new sanctuary with joy and wonder. Faith's space included a small library and meditation area perfect for developing her leadership skills. Grace's studio caught the perfect light for painting at any time of day. Joy and Noah's connected music rooms were designed with perfect acoustics. Ethan's space was equipped with scientific instruments and stargazing equipment. Lucas's area included specialized training equipment designed to enhance his athletic development. And at the center of it all was Hope's haven, a peaceful space filled with soft cushions and hanging crystals, where the healing energy she naturally emanated seemed to amplify and flow outward to her siblings' spaces. The entire structure was a physical manifestation of their family's unique dynamic, a testament to the way their individual gifts strengthened and supported each other. As they sat together in Hope's central space that evening, sharing birthday cake and memories, Sarah and Michael marveled at the journey that had brought them to this moment. 7 years ago, they had prayed for a child, and God had blessed them sevenfold, giving them not just 7 babies, but 7 unique souls who would change the world in their own special ways. The impact of the Thompson septuplets continued to ripple outward, touching lives far beyond their small town. Research centers around the world began studying the implications of their unique family dynamic, particularly the extraordinary abilities that seemed to flow from Hope to her siblings and beyond. The medical community was revolutionizing its approach to healing, incorporating principles learned from observing the natural way the children's presence affected those around them. But perhaps the most profound impact was on the everyday lives of ordinary people who encountered their story. Families facing their own unusual challenges found hope in the Thompsons' example of embracing differences and nurturing unique gifts. Parents of highly sensitive children looked to Hope's story for guidance on how to support and protect their special little ones. Communities learned from Millbrook's example of how to rally around and support families dealing with extraordinary circumstances. As night fell on their 7th birthday celebration, the stars seemed to shine with particular brightness over the Thompson home. The 7 children lay in a circle in Hope's treehouse space, their hands linked, their breathing synchronized, their dreams once again intertwining through the mysterious connection they shared. Hope's peaceful energy enveloped them all, creating a cocoon of love and protection that seemed to pulse with the very rhythm of the universe. Sarah and Michael watched their sleeping children from the doorway, their hearts overflowing with gratitude and wonder. They had learned that miracles don't always come in expected packages, that love has the power to transform challenges into blessings, and that sometimes the most extraordinary gifts are the ones that can't be explained, only cherished. The story of the Thompson septuplets would continue to unfold in ways that would amaze and inspire, but at its heart, it would always be a testament to the boundless power of love, the strength of family bonds, and the miraculous potential that exists within every human heart when nurtured by understanding and acceptance. As the moon cast its silver light over their sleeping children, Sarah and Michael knew that their family's journey was far from over. Each day would bring new discoveries, new challenges, and new opportunities for their 7 miracles to touch lives and change hearts. But through it all, they would remain grounded in the love that had brought them together and the extraordinary bond that made them unique. The stars continued their dance across the night sky, witnesses to a love story that transcended ordinary understanding. A story of 7 miraculous children, 1 extraordinary gift, and the infinite power of unconditional love to transform the world, one heart at a time. As the Thompson children entered their 8th year, their extraordinary story continued to evolve in ways that touched hearts and transformed lives across the globe. The peaceful energy that had radiated from their treehouse sanctuary began to influence the entire neighborhood, creating a ripple effect of healing and harmony that scientists struggled to explain. Each season brought new discoveries about the children's unique abilities. The spring following their 7th birthday marked a significant turning point when Hope's empathic abilities reached a new level of development. She began to not only sense and soothe emotions, but also to help others understand and process their feelings in profound ways. Local counselors and therapists started referring their most challenging cases to spend time in the healing garden, where Hope's presence seemed to unlock emotional barriers that had resisted traditional treatments for years. Faith's leadership abilities blossomed in unexpected ways. She started a program at her elementary school that brought together children from different backgrounds, using her natural talent for understanding and connecting with others to bridge cultural and social divides. The success of her initiative caught the attention of educational experts, who began studying her methods for potential implementation in schools nationwide. Grace's artistic abilities transcended traditional boundaries of creation. Her paintings now seemed to capture not just images and emotions, but also the very essence of moments in time. Art critics claimed her work contained layers of meaning that revealed themselves differently to each viewer, as if the canvases themselves were alive with empathic energy. Museums began requesting exhibitions of her work, amazed that such profound artistic expression could come from someone so young. Joy and Noah's musical collaboration reached new heights of sophistication. Their compositions began incorporating what musicologists called healing harmonies, specific combinations of notes and rhythms that produced measurable positive effects on listeners' physical and emotional well-being. Research teams from prestigious music therapy programs set up studies to document and analyze the unique properties of their music, particularly when performed in Hope's presence. Ethan's scientific pursuits led him to insights that challenged conventional understanding of quantum physics and human consciousness. His innocent questions during science class often left teachers speechless, leading to collaborative research projects with university professors who recognized that his unique perspective might help bridge the gap between quantum mechanics and human experience. His ability to intuitively grasp complex scientific concepts enhanced by Hope's presence suggested new possibilities for understanding the interconnected nature of reality. Lucas's athletic achievements continued to defy expectations, but more impressive was the way he began teaching other children to access their own physical potential. His natural coaching ability, combined with Hope's gift for emotional attunement, created a unique training methodology that helped young athletes overcome mental blocks and achieve breakthroughs in performance. Sports psychologists started documenting his techniques, amazed by the way he could help others tap into abilities they didn't know they possessed. Sarah's journals had become a valuable resource for researchers studying the children's development. Her detailed observations provided insights into how the siblings' abilities complemented and enhanced each other, particularly the way Hope's presence seemed to amplify and refine their individual gifts. The journals were being studied by child development experts, psychologists, and medical researchers, all seeking to understand the implications of the Thompson family's unique dynamic. Michael's carpentry work took on new significance as he began designing and building specialized spaces that seemed to enhance and channel the children's abilities. His treehouse complex became a model for therapeutic environments, inspiring architects and healthcare designers to incorporate similar principles into hospitals and healing centers. He received requests from around the world for consultations on creating spaces that could facilitate emotional healing and personal growth. Dr. Roberts' research team expanded to include specialists from multiple disciplines, all working together to understand the far-reaching implications of the Thompson children's gifts. Their studies suggested that exposure to the children's presence, particularly Hope's, created lasting positive changes in brain chemistry and emotional regulation. The findings were revolutionizing understanding of human potential and the role of empathic connection in healing and development. The community of Millbrook continued to evolve alongside the Thompson family, becoming a model for how society could embrace and nurture extraordinary gifts while maintaining a sense of normalcy and privacy for those who possessed them. The town's approach to supporting the family while protecting their ability to live ordinary lives attracted attention from communities around the world, facing similar challenges with gifted individuals. As the children's influence grew, so did their understanding of their responsibilities to the wider world. Hope, in particular, seemed to grasp the significance of her gift and its potential impact on humanity. She approached each day with a sense of purpose that belied her young age, using her abilities thoughtfully and teaching others to develop their own empathic capabilities. The bond between the septuplets deepened with each passing day, their connection transcending ordinary sibling relationships to become something mystical and profound. They developed their own silent language, communicating through subtle gestures and shared feelings that others couldn't perceive. Their collective presence created a harmony that affected everyone around them, as if they were 7 notes in a cosmic chord that resonated with the very fabric of existence. The treehouse complex became a sacred space where the children could fully express their gifts while maintaining the crucial connection that made them unique. Hope's central sanctuary radiated peace and healing energy, while each sibling's space served as a focal point for their individual talents. The entire structure seemed to pulse with living energy, becoming a physical manifestation of the extraordinary bond they shared. Sarah and Michael watched their children's development with a mixture of awe and humility, recognizing that they were witnesses to something that transcended ordinary understanding. They maintained their commitment to providing as normal a childhood as possible while acknowledging and supporting the extraordinary gifts that made their family unique. The impact of the Thompson septuplets continued to ripple outward, touching lives in ways that couldn't be measured by conventional means. Their story inspired others to look beyond surface differences and recognize the extraordinary potential that exists within every human heart. Families dealing with unique challenges found hope in their example, while researchers and healers discovered new possibilities for understanding human consciousness and connection. As their 8th year unfolded, the Thompson family's journey continued to evolve, each day bringing new discoveries, challenges, and opportunities for growth. The love that had brought them into the world grew stronger with each passing moment, creating a foundation of support that allowed their extraordinary gifts to flourish while keeping them grounded in the simple joy of being together. The stars that had witnessed their beginning continued to watch over their journey, twinkling with ancient wisdom as they observed this remarkable family's ongoing evolution. And in the quiet moments between miracles, when the children slept peacefully in their beds and hope's healing energy enveloped them all, Sarah and Michael would stand together, their hearts overflowing with gratitude for the 7 precious gifts that had transformed their lives and touched the world in ways they never could have imagined. Their story remained a testament to the boundless power of love, the strength of family bonds, and the miraculous potential that exists within every human soul when nurtured by understanding, acceptance, and unwavering faith in the beauty of being exactly who you were meant to be.